Go live. Hello guys. Yeah, I do not know what to say, but yes. So yeah, thanks for 1,000 followers on Instagram, and yeah, today I'll just be working on a bunch of stuff, on my short animation. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm just working on a new shot for my animation, and um, yeah, it's doing pretty good. And so this is, and it crashed, unfortunately. Okay, I'll just be working on a new shot right now. So also another thing is thanks to my patrons as well. Um, yeah, thanks for the patrons supporting me on yeah, thanks for the patrons for supporting me. So what I will be doing is I will just be creating a new shot. Shot 29, I think. Yeah, shot 29. And we'll pretty much be making a kind of missile thing. So I'll just call this, it's good to organize your folders. Could maybe show a few sneak peeks of the animation if you guys like. But yes, okay, so yeah, right now we're making a cool kind of so this is pretty much all the reference that I use, but I'm gonna be making like a missile kind of silo thing. I don't know really know how I'm gonna go about making this, but I was thinking of doing something like that, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't guarantee that I'll make a finished product today, but yeah, I'll just be sort of creating something. I mean, if you have any questions, just ask. Yeah. So I will just be basically making some cool stuff. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I mean, the stream is a bit delayed, so you know. So let me just see what I can do about this. So it's basically like a kind of, it's sort of like a kind of missile thing. So like there's like a bunch of missiles around one thing. It could be like one of those messy ones, because usually you have like a bunch of missiles around this, and then you have like a singular missile and stuff. Yeah. Please excuse the stuttering, as this is my first time doing a live stream. But yeah. Okay, let's do this. So normals, auto smooth, and let's have a look. Yeah, I'll just do like base meshes, like of this kind of thing. You know what I mean? You know, like for example, this would be one missile. You know, I could also use my kitbash assets as well. So I would. This is like a really simple base mesh. So please excuse this. You know, always use reference when you're doing stuff as well, which is extremely important. And you know, just bevel those. That will be the start of our missile thing. Okay. Doesn't have to be too exact, if you know what I mean. I'm just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this, you know? See what I can do with a missile. I don't know, this is like really basic at the moment. It's not really much, but you know, I'll eventually make something cool out of this. So I guess like my main kind of approach to this would be sort of like starting off with very basic stuff and sort of testing this out and then making a detailed version of it, which is exactly what I do. The shot will pretty much be from this angle and be coming out, and then it will be like sort of dropping and then just sort of like going off. Any tips for character creation, like your Halloween pumpkin guy? That one was sick. Oh, thank you. Okay, so basically, so for character creation, I would probably say like start off with like a base mesh of like a human. Always, depending on what kind of character you're making, always start off like with like a base mesh, and then you sort of build on top of it. It depends on what your character looks like. Like for an example, if you're looking at the character from afar, you don't have to spend too much time on it. But when it's up close, you have to sort of add more detail to it. Like I went into Marvelous Designer and added some clothes on it, and on top of like the skeleton model I made. And I guess that was my workflow for that pumpkin guy. For the pumpkin head, it was a bit tedious on the kind of face, and it was a bit of a destructive modeling. So I literally got like a reference from from like another concept art, and then I just made like a pumpkin shape. I always follow tutorial, even I follow tutorials. Oh yeah, hello Gino. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so I would literally use reference from other concept art, and then I would sort of like how would I explain this? Yeah, always do base meshes. I've already said that, but yeah, sorry if I'm stuttering so much. How did I do it? So yeah, I guess well, I guess like if you're doing like a robot, you could just do like individual pieces, like the forearm. Try to simplify your model. Like the pumpkin guy, I simplified it into different sections, like the head and the skeleton, and then you've got the clothes. Now, if you don't have access to Marvelous Designer, you can always work around it. There's tutorials pretty much everywhere of creating characters. You know, I do it like a bit more of like a quicker way, and you know, just sort of I guess because like when there's a deadline, I need to make the model as fast as possible. I also use Autorig Pro, so with character creation, Autorig Pro is very important as well, because you get to rig your character so easily and quite instantly, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I guess that's like my kind of approach to character creation, and also try not to overthink it. Um, what do you mean by house access? Oh yes. Oh, Access Creative College. Yes, that is basically I've left college after 1 year because it wasn't that great, but yeah. So I will just be making one of those, let's see, adding a cube. Let's see, where is it? At the moment I'm looking at reference, so yeah, I'm just looking at reference. So I could make something like this, like that sort of goes out from the side and then it just comes out, but I want to do something a bit more kind of industrial like this, which looks a lot more better, you know, it's from the movie Stealth, and then also add like flaps and stuff like this, which I'll use for my let's go yeah, nice. Yeah, so yeah, so I will basically, you know, I'll model two things, the industrial one and the sci-fi one, so I just want to see how it goes, you know what I mean? So let's see how it goes, you know, just testing out some stuff. That could go back as well. I mean, this is not much at the moment, but this is literally how I start. I literally just sort of take my time when I'm starting out, or unless if I have a deadline, of course. But yeah. Well, I have one question for you guys. Do you want to see a sneak peek of my animation? Yeah, so I will try to get that kind of triangle effect. I think I could just do like a what is it? I could just get in like a circle and bring that down. Yep, I have a very loud keyboard. Let me just rotate everything. There we are. Oh yeah, okay then. Yeah, let's okay, so basically I can't show all of it, but I will show some of it. Okay, I'll just get it ready in a minute. Yeah, and by the way, thanks for joining the live stream, Lenny, and Gino. Yeah, thanks. So that will basically be like that. Do not know how this is going to end up. I'm just experimenting at this point. It's not really much. Let me have a look. Okay, so let me just open up the file quickly. File. Where is it? Can you guys hear the background music? I don't know if you know if you can hear this. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Yeah, you guys can hear that. Yeah. So let me just. I'm only gonna show one shot, but it's a little bit noisy and stuff. It's a little bit noisy, but I would show this. just like single frames, of course. And I will also show one other thing, which is a bunch of explosions with some firing stuff. Guess that's all I'm gonna show. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna show. Yeah, so that's cool. So basically, I am just gonna carry on with this. I don't even know if I'm doing the right thing here. Am I even doing the right thing? Might be. So I will basically. It could be something like that. I don't know. Just experimenting at this point, trying to get a good design. I guess models take longer with like better designs, if you know what I mean. Yeah, they take way longer. So yes. and I will extrude that forward, and then I'll use these as a kind of boolean to sort of control minus if you enable the bool tool add-on. I think I don't even know if that looks like that. It doesn't even look like that. Yes, I do color correct in After Effects. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I do color correct in After Effects. Of course, now it's very kind of I have like a special kind of, well, not special, but it's like a kind of thing that I do each time. Like for example, this if it loads, yeah, there it is. This artwork, I basically sort of just add in like you know, like highlights on the character, and you know, temperature on the house, and of course I have let me just change it to look effects. There it is. Okay, yeah, I used looks, and then I used Lumetri color, and you can see how, like, you know, washed out it looks. You can see how washed out it looks, but then I sort of color correct it with Lumetri color and looks. Most of it I do with Lumetri color, you know, just to give it that nice kind of vibe, if you know what I mean. Open recent, where is it? There it is. Yeah, and then you have, yeah, so I try my best to sort of get the look that I want to in Blender, but I rely on After Effects to, you know, get the proper kind of look. And then, like, you can see this is quite big of an animation at the moment. Yeah, so I do everything like in pre-composed compositions and other crazy sorts of stuff, you know, with all sorts of effects on top. So that's pretty much yeah, that is pretty much yeah, what I do in After Effects. Actually, I just want to stick with this one here. I don't really like that one. I'll delete that. Yeah, I might not do much in this live stream, but yeah, I'll just carry on with this. So there seems to be the same type of rocket going all the way around. So let's make a rocket, or we could just I could even open up my mechanical asset pack, which is on my Patreon as well. Yeah. So if I just go File, Open Recent, no, Open, and if I just open this up, Projects. In fact, you know what I will do? I will actually, firstly, I will, what is it again? Yeah, I will link in the spaceship. Where is it? There it is. Police spaceship. So basically, when you're linking, you basically sort of link in from another Blender file, and whatever you change in the other Blender file, it changes for all the Blender files. That's why I link in, because if you have multiple shots, I always create an asset folder. Like if I have like the bike guy, I can just change him once and it changes for the rest of them. Let's see, dropship. Do you render the raw color format out of Blender? What do you mean by raw color format? Do you mean like without any of this stuff, or raw color format? I guess I sort of like changed this to like high contrast or very high contrast. Yeah, otherwise like in compositing, I would sort of composite on like some you know, layers and stuff. But yeah, so this is the, why are there's just pieces floating around, but ignore those. So this is this spaceship is okay. It's not like, it's just got a bunch of kitbash stuff stacked onto it for no reason, which makes it harder for me to you know, make a missile area. It could be down here. I actually want to make it over here. So what I will do is F3, make library override, because it's linked in from another Blender file. Yeah, okay. And you can see here we've got this. What the hell is that? Oh, forget about that. Yeah, so you have my cool sci-fi camera on the spaceship, which is cool. And then you have the cool sci-fi turret, that I made, which is nice and cool. Yeah, you have all sorts of stuff on this thing. So this thing has missiles. It even has a dude inside of it. You can see literally here. This dude is chilling right in. Look at his arm. It's all over the place. He's had a long day. You have very simple UI, you know, like scan and whatever. That's basically the spaceship for this shot. Yeah, like it's very basic. And yes, I added a cactus. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, so basically, I keep saying basically, please ignore that. Yeah, so now I have random bits and pieces everywhere, which I do not need. Let me just grab these. What is this doing here? Okay. Yes, okay. Alt S. There we go. That's its original scale. I don't think it is. No, it isn't. Yes, please excuse that. Yeah, so we will be basically doing a shot from like here, and it will be like sort of coming out from the side of this, and then it will be like sort of, never mind. Yeah, you'll probably get it in a minute. I'll do a quick animation of it. Like, I'll do a quick animation. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm taking my time, but I'm just really thinking about it, of how I can actually make this. So, like, this is like the side of that ship, like, for an example. You know what I mean? You know, and then there'll be like a little hatch here. Let's see, we could make it, make it like that. Extrude it. Extrude it out, and then there'll basically be like one of these, like that. So this will be the main thing, and there'll be like missiles like stacked around it, which would be cool. I could even add in like another one. There it is. Different shapes and sizes, different cones, yeah, so we could just parent all of these. So at the moment I'm just doing like a previous render thing, with like, just like really simple objects. It doesn't even have to be that great, so I'm just going to animate this, so it'll be like sort of coming out and then rotating like this way, and then it'll be like, going down, it'll go like that. Yeah, please. Yes, I don't know why I said that. Yeah, so basically that will be animating from there to like there. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm on a live stream and I'm not used to it. Yeah, this is, yeah. So I will give it a bit of time. I want it to seem a bit more mechanical, so what I will do is I'll make sure that is like a bit more like that. And then it'll be going like that. Yeah, and then T and then back maybe. Nope, that doesn't look good. Bezier, always take my time when I'm animating, so I'm just gonna slow down a little bit. Yeah, something like that. It's gotta be relatively smooth. It could even have in like a linear, and then this will be like a bounce maybe. Let's see, V, no, T, and then bounce maybe. No, that's not good enough. Maybe linear. Yeah, let's just go over to the graph editor, the trusty graph editor. I absolutely love the graph editor. So set everything to Bezier. And yeah, set everything to Bezier. And I'll sort of animate this like going out in a very like robotic kind of. So at this point, is it the? Yeah, I could get this to sort of go up a little bit. Maybe scale it down a little bit. Let's make it bigger. Oh, it's the X location. Okay. So, yeah, as you can see, that's very very, very smooth. I could even decrease that. So it basically, it keeps on going. We could progressively go forward. You know what I mean? There we go. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. Yeah, make sure that's a little bit sharper. A little bit less. And then it sort of goes back, bounces back a little bit. Since this bounce is shit. Seriously, this bounce interpolation is, well, it's okay for like small, you know, scale objects, but you know what I mean. Let's make it a little bit more subtle. You know, set this to free. You know, so this is my process of animating. So the graph editor is so important. And Z location, it's a little bit like dodgy when it's going like. Yeah, any questions? Just ask. Yeah, can answer any questions. Yeah, so let's just scale that down. Let's make sure that ends a little bit. Yeah, and it could even like be spinning. Yeah, it could even be spinning. So like for an example, like at the start of here, it could be I in the rotation, and it could be like finishing off like, you know, a rotation. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, it could sort of, is it Y? Yeah, it's the Y. Okay. Let's make sure it actually finishes a bit earlier. There we go. Make sure it's already kind of rotating as well, and a bit more. Yeah, something like that. I guess. I don't know. No, I want it to be progressive. Something like that, I don't know. And then like this will be, as soon as it goes like that, that will be going down there. At this point, it will be start going forward. You know, just go like straight forward, I don't know. Yeah, that's very janky. Let's make it faster, shall we? Yeah, and let's make that a... let's see what we can do here. Y location. Let's make sure that's... hello sir, do you recommend a beginner video for Blender animation? Okay, so you have... Yeah, you have quite a few actually. So if you look at my playlist, Blender / CG stuff, yeah, if you look at my playlist, there should be a few there, but I guess you can, like you can sort of, well, firstly experiment, but I guess a tutorial, you could just search it on YouTube, like beginner Blender. It depends on what you want to animate. Like if you want to animate a character, there's like plenty of like kind of YouTube like tutorials, you know, for that. Yeah, there should be plenty for that. Yeah, and it doesn't go straight forward. Ignore the missile that's dropping. I will improve that so much more. I'm just really focusing on like the movement here. Like that is okay. I feel like it could be a little bit more faster. Yeah, and it could start a little bit more like there, and then there'll be like really cool kind of. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I just really appreciate you know, the people who are watching now. So yeah, thank you for you know, watching and stuff. Set origin to 3D cursor. This will be one of the flaps. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is going to be a very simple flap. It's not. It's just going to be like a very nice flip. Let's see. This is like really rough, but okay. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay. Shifty SZ -1. Let's bring that back down there, and there'll be like a little flap. I don't know, the flap could be better. Your work is amazing. How people can't watch your videos. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Master Samurai. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I'm slowly. I guess I am a little bit underrated, but I will slowly get there. You know. I will slowly get there. I mean, thanks for 1K followers on Instagram. You know, just gotta slowly make my way. You know, hopefully Ian Hubert recognizes me. that's literally like a dream for me. If Ian Hubert like actually notices me, that would be awesome. Let's see. I'm just gonna rotate this. This is like really simple. I would literally eventually make a really badass kind of sequence here. Trust me, it would be like crazy. This is very off because you can see here that we're getting okay. That's, I don't know why that's going around in the 360. What is it doing? Instead, that could be like a hatch. Like instead of it going, it could be going down into there. I guess maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I could bring that back. I've got to figure out how I can open this. Like I've always got to, you know, search for like flap. No, you compared to me in skills. I see you are passionate working in the. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate. Yeah, yeah, a lot of people said I'm passionate in Blender. Yeah, I absolutely love. I love Blender and making cool stuff. Yeah. I guess it's best not to compare yourself to other people, but I really appreciate it though. Thank you. I guess just keep practicing and just have fun. That's the best part. And you can see here, this is like the most basic thing I've like made so far. Like I know I'll make something better later, but you know, this is pretty much what I can do for now. I'm just thinking of how this door could open. I could even just search for like. I was like, I always watch like YouTube videos, and when they're making something, they don't really. Some of them just don't look at reference. So I'm literally just gonna go right onto here. You can see right there. Pinterest, and I just search for like a hatch door. So like, I'm just gonna give a quick tutorial of like making a sci-fi hatch door. Yeah. You know how to look for reference. You know, because you know a lot of people they struggle. Landing gear hatch door. Is this? That should be fine. Yeah, and also make sure you have fun as well, because when you're having fun, you progress a lot more quicker. Landing gear door. Should be door. Please do not give me anything ridiculous. I swear down, it comes up with the most randomest. Like is that a landing gear door? No. Let me just search for landing gear. This is crazy. Oh, there we go. Okay, you got something like that. But I want to look at the like you got a very simple kind of flap there, but I want to make sure I want it to be unique. You know, I want it to actually be like folding. Okay, that's a bit, you know. Anyways, let's see. How can we make a landing gear hatch door? Yeah, I'll find something out. Okay, so it could be. Let me think about this. I mean, please. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I mean, I hope I'm not taking too long in this live stream. I usually take my time when I'm looking for reference, like actual good reference. Like landing sci-fi gear hatch door. Yes. I mean, I don't want to look for like a mediocre kind of design. Okay, you know what I'm gonna search for? I'm gonna search for stealth. Okay.
If it is not real,
Please excuse that. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, here we are. Here we are. This is a this is basically a absolute badass scene that I love, and which is basically where I got the reference from. And you can see the spaceship, it goes over and it just opens up like a absolute badass hatch door, and it comes out like a complete badass, and it just launches a missile like nobody's business. And I absolutely love this scene. And I just want to get that kind of like, this is very simple because it has like a simple kind of hatch door. I could do something like that. Let me just see what I can do, because at the moment it's like obstructing because it's like the side, or unless if I could do it from the bottom here. It could be from the bottom where it just drops out, but that's too simple either as well. Unless if this thing could go out a bit more. It could be more of like a kind of a retractable thing. Yeah, I don't know how I can do this. Yeah, I could figure something out. I could definitely figure something out. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling at the moment, but we've got the spaceship here. That will basically be moving forward, and... or is this a very tight space to add a missile, or should I just... that's a bit strange. Can't even go into edit mode. Let me think about this. Okay, let me just... It's still a bit... It's still a little bit... It needs to be a bit more kind of... needs to flow a bit more. What is that doing? Is that... Eye on the location. Still a bit too... I don't know. I'm still trying to think of this. I mean, it would be better if I find it a lot more reference, you know, for this. Unless if that was a bit more slanted. Could be a bit more slanted. Let me just see what I can do. Let's see. I mean, when you see the final thing, I mean, this is like almost done. When you see the final thing, you'll see this like absolutely crazy good. Because I literally spent hours on like, you know, because I want this to actually look movie, like the animation and stuff to look movie level quality. I'll even add like smoke coming out and just, you know, have the back of the thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm just thinking about how exactly I can, you know, I mean, it's really simple. I just like taking my time really with this. Let me see. Okay, now that's gone a bit. Okay, yep, now it's over there. It's over there. Okay. Let me just delete that. I'm just gonna make sure this is all right. I'm also gonna open up my mechanical asset pack just to, you know, keep it going. Let me see what I can do. File. Open. Oh, here we go. Here's my mechanical asset pack. So yeah, this is what I will be using for this today's kind of video. You can get this on my Patreon. Yeah, tier 2. Yeah, so you can get this on my Patreon. So I'll pretty much just copy the things I need, so I can just hide that and copy all of this stuff. Do I even need that? No, I do not need that. I actually do need some of this stuff. It's all about making it look cool. Use the resources you've got. How do you focus on doing the things you have to do, like do stuff in Blender, not, for example, play video games or something else? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, yeah. What's happened is that I've sort of like I have quite a few games on my PC, but like I don't play them because I don't find them fun anymore. Like maybe like a year or two ago, I used to find them fun, but like I guess I get more like kind of I get more happy when I do this. When I do this, I feel a lot more kind of I actually find it more fun than games, to be honest. This is like playing a game for me, to be honest. And in terms of getting distracted, it's all about just sort of it's like your brain gets distracted, but then I bring myself back to this. And yeah, yeah. I guess like yeah, at the moment I get bored of like a game I play. Like I would play some game on my PC, but then I'll get bored of it after like 5 minutes, and I'll go back to this and I'll be like, you know what, this is more fun. But I pretty much never really play games. I just do this all day, every day. Yeah, I guess like I sort of tell myself that I get more out of this than playing games. I say playing games is just like I won't really get anything out of it. Yeah. Yeah, so I find this way more fun, and I pretty much get something out of it, It's actually my career, and yeah, I just enjoy doing it more than games. Also, another thing is that I also sort of I also, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot. Anyways, let's get back to this. I forget what I'm gonna say quite a lot. So that goes out, and that basically, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So usually people, they just play games and just for fun and stuff, but I don't find them fun. Yeah. Uh, so, and it's also good. Say again. How do you make a career in Blender, and how do you make money through this? Okay, so basically, I started when I was like 14, I think. Yeah, about 14 and a half. And so all I did was my dad introduced me to Blender, and I was like, I just want to try this. And I did like one course, and then I just carried on with it. And what I did was I literally just followed tutorials left, right, center as much as I could. Well, I never took it seriously then. I just did it like really like casually, and then it sort of developed into a portfolio. I did tutorials. I know I followed tutorials, and I what did I do? And I also did my own stuff, like really like quick. You can probably see it on my Instagram if you scroll down enough. You'll probably see like really old animations, like really kind of simple animations, and then I would go on to practice like individual things like modeling and texturing, and then along the way of making tutorials, I would learn that kind of stuff. So in terms of building a career, I guess I sort of built a portfolio, like and I didn't really do it intentionally. I did it unintentionally, so I didn't know I was building a portfolio until I actually did. And then I got like a apprenticeship or an internship. So what was it called again? So I basically work for experience. So I do work experience at this studio in yeah. So I do work experience. Um, yeah. So I started doing work experience at this, and they paid me as well. So I was basically earning money through doing what I love, and I'm still at that studio right now. Um, and yeah, so that's yeah. If you want to check out the studio, it's Big Two Studios. So I work there, and then I also run my own Patreon. I've only got 5 Patrons for now, but I know it'll increase in the future. So that's like another thing on the side that I do. and maybe a few extra stuff like NFTs. I don't know. NFTs is like a very rare thing though. It's like very hard for someone to buy your stuff. But in general, just like internships or work experience. So mainly, well, not just tutorials, but experimenting mostly. I did so much experimenting. Like I have a whole folder full of like Blender files, and it was like just messed up stuff. Like I just literally, um, yeah. So I literally just went like, crazy with like all the effects and stuff. Like sometimes what I would do is I would literally just go and add in like a, I don't even know, like dynamic paint, or I'll test some cool stuff. And I have so many test projects and experiments and stuff, and I'm still learning now. You know what I mean? I'm still learning my animation, my effects and skills. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah. But I don't know if you've seen this. Yeah, that's how you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I guess it's also about believing in yourself as well. So I sort of like last year I was like doing like my projects. I sort of believed in myself a little bit. I had a lot of kind of I got upset a lot of the times, a little bit of the times. I'm not gonna lie. I got very demotivated, but then I kept bringing myself back up, and I just kept on going. And to be honest, giving up on this is never really an option to well, not really like I have to, but I just love this so much that I don't want to stop doing it. I don't want to stop doing it, and I'm just gonna keep on doing projects. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm just gonna keep on doing projects with what I do. So this is a bit messed up. So that should be fine. Let me just delete all the keyframes and actually do that again. Yeah, so at the moment I'm doing my own projects with the stuff I know. Um, with the stuff I know, and as you keep on progressing, you like for an example, if you're working on a project and you like one shot has like for an example a, I don't know, like smoke on tires or something, and then in that, while you're doing that project, if you want to know how to do smoke and tires, you look up for a tutorial of how to do it, and then you would know how to do it then if you remember it. If you find it fun, then it's more likely for you to remember it. And like for an example, if I was to do like for an example, I don't know, like in this like water trails or rain for an example, and I would find out ways to do rain, and then that would basically get stored into my brain, and then I can add it into many other projects. So that's how I also learned as well. So I didn't really I never really liked courses. So a lot of people ask me, do you do courses? And I'm like, no, because well, not much. Yeah, I could do a course and I would learn a lot from it, but when you're like starting out, yeah, it's a lot of information. But sorry, when you're starting out, it's best to do a course. But for me, I find it easier to experiment and stuff. But if there's something that I really need, that I know that I will be using loads and loads, I will literally take that course and actually learn from it, like animation, for an example. Um, yeah, I find it also unmotivated to do stuff. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, life is tough. Yeah, that is very true. Um, Usually, what I also do, like waking up like early in the morning. Yeah, it's like imagine you, for an example, like it's all about sort of you know having that positive mindset. Yeah, it's all about having like a positive mindset as well, like thinking positive, and when you feel the urge to like get off Blender and play a game or something, and like, or even if it's work, I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm not saying anything wrong here, but I'm just trying to explain in the best way I can. I just try to. I'm like, you know what, this will get me somewhere, and it would sort of motivate me a little bit more. To be honest, motivation is what gets you started, and then if you develop the habit to carry on going, then you basically like make really cool stuff. So if you have a habit, like I have a habit of I have to go on Blender every day, but not that I have to, like I'm forcing myself. No, because I actually really want to. Like I feel the urge to make something. You know what I mean? Make something cool or express myself. And that's good. Yeah, follow some tutorials and been doing activities and do stuff that doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's good to be aware as well when you're doing stuff. Like you got to be aware of like yeah, like how long, like for example, sometimes I'm on the computer for too long. Like health matters more than everything else, to be honest. Like I'm literally on the PC until like midnight sometimes because I find it so fun. I get distracted loads. But I guess it's you just gotta really think about where you want to go, and yeah. I mean, I hope I'm helping here, but yeah, I'm trying my best to help. Um, yeah, I'm trying my best to help. So this will basically be going out like that. But I'll leave this for now, but then I'll work on another more exciting like shot, if you know what I mean, for now, because this is a bit boring at the moment. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of people, they do ask me, how do you get the motivation to do stuff like this? And I sort of it's all, for me, it's mainly about having fun. Like when you're so engrossed into it, then you just really progress forward and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy to help. Um, okay, that crashed. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you need any other questions or advice, you can ask me on Instagram and stuff. You know, and stuff. Like for an example, when I was younger, I always used to think about like cool like kind of cinematic animations, and I still do it now. I'm like, you know, a lot of the time I'm just like sort of imagining. I daydream a lot, and I sort of always think about, what, this is what I could create next. And I think of some crazy like, crazy animation. I love action stuff. I absolutely love action stuff. So I think, is it this one? Yeah, this is the one. I thought I'd show you guys this as well. I'll work on this for now. I think it's pretty much done, but I can show you guys. It's like this bike going down, and then it sort of like skids, and then it sort of like drifts off. Um, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so you got this shot here. I mean, if you want to know more about the rig on this thing, you can literally like, I sort of rigged this thing in a way that so basically, like, how bikes work, they have this kind of pedal thingy. So I did like an IK rig that sort of twists all these bones and stuff, and then now like you can move his foot, and then it would sort of like when he twists that way, and all cool stuff. You know what I mean? Like, like, and like all of this was done through experimenting. Like I followed like Ian Hubert's tutorial on how to make an IK rig. He did like a tutorial, and I was like, I could make something out of this. And so I quickly made something, and I applied it to my animation, and I actually, it's really useful. Like, you can learn so much stuff. Like, if you really like, work hard and, well, yeah, have fun as well. So that's the rig for this dude. He's basically like an IK rig, so you can add him wherever you like. You know. Yeah, I know a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, that's good. You will get there. If you keep practicing, okay, and try not to get overwhelmed on your way there. Like for example, with the missile thing that I was doing earlier, that is yeah. I try not to get overwhelmed with that, but I don't want to keep this video a bit boring. Like with what I'm doing. So I'll just work on like other stuff like this, and I'll probably do that on the side. But yeah. Yeah, just don't worry about like how complicated other people's work are. You'll eventually understand it, as you literally said. So yeah, it's all good. You pretty much like learn the tutorials and stuff. You could even use assets, and like for example this smoke simulation. Like I learned off. I struggle with this smoke simulation, so I just followed a Blender Made Easy tutorial, and literally I got this really nice kind of smoke drifty kind of, you can see a nice kind of drifty smoke animation. I can show you the final result of this. I'll just bring that down. That might be a bit too loud. Okay, yeah, I can show you this. I don't even know if my audio, there it is. Okay, is it this one? Okay, here it is. I mean, if you want to see it, you can see it if you like, but this is like a very preview test thing. It's a bit low quality, but I thought I'd show it anyways. So, and it's got like some sparks, and then he like sort of drifts off. That's like the main shot there. Yeah, it's a little bit noisy, but yeah, you got like this guy, he goes down and then he sort of drifts off. Then you got the shot before, which is oh, sorry about that. This is very noisy, but you can see it. It's like a really cool kind of, yeah. That's what I'm showing. um, yeah, so that's pretty much this kind of thing. So I'm just showing some stuff at this point. I just want to show some stuff. So yeah, there's a lot more to the animation than that, but yeah, it's all about. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. You know, just and of course this animation took a lot of trial and error. It took so much trial and error. Literally, I literally had to go through, especially just for this one model. I went through a lot of problems. Like, for example, I made these two separately instead of in one asset, and then it just all messed up. I don't know how to explain it, but like with these animations, like in my previous animation, the drive-through animation, that was a little bit kind of that was a little bit odd, you know what I mean? Because I sort of, it was unorganized, the drive-through animation, but are the buildings in the background 3D or image plane? So they are literally 3D. So if I just hide this, okay, so you can see this is the whole scene setup, and I'm gonna make like a new building asset. I don't know why on earth are the aircon units so messed up. I do not know, but ignore that. You don't really notice that. But what I do have is I followed and again I followed an Ian Hubert tutorial on like buildings and stuff. And what I did do is I made like a bunch of random cubes with like some cool sections and stuff. I don't even know. I can even put this up as an asset on my Patreon if you like. Yeah, so you've got like multiple kind of materials there. If I go into material preview, hopefully it doesn't crash. You can see here, just let it load. Now in a city you don't get all the buildings with like one texture, with like one simple texture. And I try not to use like tile textures, like just a bit random windows. I use actual like buildings, like from, let me just show you, like this, yeah. If I just show you, and like others like this, like that I got from Pinterest. And those like look really, you know, cool. And they look how low poly they are. They're just so low poly. And I mean, if you look in the final, oh flip, sorry, I opened the wrong thing. Let me just close that. Okay. Oh, whoops. Let me just pause this. I mean, when there's motion blur, you sort of like you can see there. You got. Okay, now it's a bit messed up there. Ignore that. But you got like these little kind of you know, background lights going on and stuff. Like you can see there. Can you see there? It's very subtle, but you can see them in the background and stuff. You know. And then what I do is within cycles. It's so simple, but it looks amazing. That's impressive. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so basically with lighting, okay, so if you're ever asking about lighting on this thing, I use image textures for lighting, and trust me, if you don't have a good PC, it's probably gonna break your PC because it's literally heavy duty. Emissive lighting creates a lot more like noisy images, but I make sure that I set it up. I make sure I set it up to like 500 or 1000 samples with like a really low kind of, this is just a preview, you know, rendering, but I literally sort of light them up like this, and very rarely I light them up like this, but this is just for like other cool stuff. And then if you look at the compositing, you've got like yeah, nothing really. But yeah, you just sort of model like this cool stuff, like a bridge and like a canal, you know. It's just really simple buildings in the background, like it's really simple. I can even show you, I'd love to show you guys something else as well. This shot here, my favorite shot in the whole of the animation. I may be showing a bit too much right now, but I'm just showing you guys like how I make it and stuff. Yeah, just let it load. It's just taking its time. Oh yeah, here you go. Here you go. I mean, you've probably seen this one already. Let me show you guys. Please do not show it. Okay, there we go. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember this shot here. This one right here. This absolutely beautiful shot. Now, you're probably wondering how on earth did I make this? The video is on my Patreon, but all I'll show you is the breakdown of it. I pretty much explain it more in detail on my Patreon, but I'm just showing you like a quick brief of like how it's made and stuff. Yeah, that's literally all I can show because it's on my Patreon. But yeah, where is it again? Is it 27? Where is it again? I'll just give it a second. And I presume it's going to crash. Oh, oh no, it didn't. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to know anything else, just let me know. I'm just gonna carry on with this then. So at the moment, so let me just make it simple here. Okay, so at the moment I feel demotivated about this animation because what my brain is thinking is that, oh no, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look very good at the moment. So what you've got to really, you know, believe is that you can, if you keep on going, you'll make something cool. So like at the moment that looks kind of bad, but I'm just gonna keep on working on this. So and then I'm also gonna be putting that up there. Make sure you organize it as well. It's very important. Kit bash. Yeah, wait, no. Yeah, in the kit bash folder, what I will do is I will add in all my assets. There it is. And you can just add these on. Okay. Now make sure you're looking at reference as well. Where is my reference? Nope, that's the wrong one. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so we've got this really interesting reference, and I'm just thinking, how on earth it's got this cool little hatch thing. So I'm just gonna model that up now quickly and see how it goes. So I want to make sure this is not too random, if you know what I mean. So it's basically like this kind of really cool kind of like hatch thing, I guess. Yeah, so that is like scaled up. Maybe it's like beveled twice. And it's also good to listen to some music in the background, so I will go ahead and do that. Where is it again? Music. Blender. Sorry. I'm just trying to find it at the moment, and I cannot find it. I will just put it on YouTube. Let's see, where is it again? I like listening to lo-fi music, so I basically listen to in the background, which is nice. Okay, yeah, that's better. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna start with this now. We're gonna make this nice and big. Okay, we're gonna bevel these these two edges. Control A, apply scale. Okay, yeah, and then what we're going to be doing is adding in a cylinder. Okay, starting off simple. So I'm literally doing this like how my Patreon tutorials are, but of course my Patreon tutorials are a lot more, you know, them edited basically most of the time. So this is a very simple model. We don't want to make it too complicated, but we want to make sure it actually looks like nice and like detailed, if you know what I mean. Let's make it look detailed. Those two people. March, or is it because auto smooth is not enabled? Okay, that's cool. That will basically be there. Yep, shade smooth, auto smooth again. Okay, we're gonna grab this, grab that. Control B, you know, add in some, you know, cool stuff. Oh, is that better? That should be better. I apologize. That should be okay now. Hopefully that's alright. Because I have no idea what it sounds like for you guys. I'm very sorry. Let me just bring that down. Alright then, let's do this. Okay then. Yeah, I mean, if you're wondering where the music is from, it's from MD Study, you know, and it really does help me, you know, focus. So where is the reference? There it is. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, yeah, let's just let's bevel these. Okay, let's duplicate that. So this is how I'm gonna model like a really cool kind of like hatch kind of area. You know what I mean? You could just make it like that. There we are. Doesn't have to be too, you know. Let's see. Let's not overcomplicate it, you know what I mean? You don't want to get overexcited and add in like, oh, hello there. Hello there. Yeah, that's what I say in my Patreon videos as well. But yeah. Yeah, so we'll be adding that in. I feel like this should be a bit bigger, don't you think? That should be bigger. SX, move it out. Yeah, it needs to be a bit more chunkier. There we are. Okay, that's cool. And I just want to sort of, you know, merge those. If it did, no, it didn't. Okay. Control J to merge. Okay, that's cool. Very simple design. So at the moment I'm modeling like this bit here. Can you see this bit? And it goes across, and it's like a really nice kind. It's the thing that holds the actual thing. You know what I mean? So what I want to do is, if I just go to front view, I want to make sure this is a bit more curved so it matches the whole thing. If you know what I mean. Now that's stretched. Okay, let's just grab the missile and actually match the kind of the diameter and stuff, like the shape of it and stuff. So what I could do, in fact, you know what? That's actually all right. That's actually not bad. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep it like that. I want to keep it nice and simple, straightforward. Scale it on the y-axis, but not by too much. Also, you know, adding in a cylinder. RX90, you know, this is quite big. It's like really big. I don't even know why I need that thing. I don't even need it. Delete vertices, it's a bit distracting. Okay, yeah, so that's like there. Shade smooth, auto smooth. Yeah, that needs to be a bit more bigger. You can see here we're making this bit here. It's got like a nice kind of cap at the end of it, like a mushroom kind of cap. So scales up, scales up, you know, and it's like slightly beveled on the edges here. And of course, when you get that problem, you apply the scale, bevel it again, And don't worry if this is not too detailed yet. I will definitely make it more detailed. But yeah. So if you're ever wondering how you add detail to models, make sure make sure they don't look mediocre. How I call it. You want to make sure you don't want to make sure you add. Sometimes the models don't even have to be detailed. They can just be, you know, very simple. Like I'm just adding simple extrusions and bevels, you know, and try not to make it look a bit too, you know, too much overkill. You don't want to over add kit bash assets on it, otherwise it looks, you know, dog water. So basically this is like a very interesting mechanism, if you know what I mean. It's a very interesting mechanism. So it's like got a it's got like this cube thing on top. I don't even know, it's got like a really cool, let's make like a nice kind of mechanical part up here. Yeah, okay. It's like quite thin. Yeah, that's it. It's like one of those nice kind of, you know, metal plates that just go down like this. Okay. And, you know, you add in like 2 edge loops. There we are. Extrude that down. Extrude it again. You know, add in F3 ridge edge loops. Yeah. And then also let's bevel these sides here. Bevel. So this is pretty much the music I listen to like most of the time. Yeah, I mean this is so simple, but I'm just getting started at the moment. So that will basically be that for now. And then I'll be adding in. Okay. Mesh, add in a cylinder. 90, let's just make that, put that there. Yeah, let's add that there, like as if it's like some kind of like rating thing, I don't even know. Yeah, that's it, let's make that nice and beveled. Insert, you know, bring it back. That's alright. I could, you know, improve it. So let's just add in 2 edge loops, select those, bevel them, you know, scrub this. Move those up. It creates that nice kind of like sci-fi thing, I don't even know. You can even add in like edge loops here. Give it the same kind of effect. At the bottom there, you know, give it those little crevices. You know, bring that down a little bit more. I don't want to work too much on one area, but we'll just work on this. Looks like a face. Looks hilarious. Yeah, okay. Let's get on with this then, shall we? So that will basically be there. Pretty much be like a nice kind of metal plate thing. Pretty much on a nice kind of like metal plate thing. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just gonna, you know, I feel like this bit looks a bit too simple. I want to see what I can do with this area. Let's add some of my kit bash assets on it. It would really help. Let's see. Yeah, let's add this thing here. Yeah, you know, make it look nice, you know? You don't want to, like for example, one big mistake I made with the spaceship is that I literally just stacked it on top. Like, can you see here? I made a base mesh of the spaceship, like, you know, very simple of course. And I literally just stacked like, you know, kit bash assets on top of it. And that's like it's okay, but like it's not the best thing you can do. It's best to just actually integrate designs into it. So that's my advice as well. Like something like this, sort of like you want it to be a bit more integrated instead of just slap stuff on top. So that's the big problem that I made with this. So that's like one thing that I don't want you guys to do. Just like, you know, you want to make sure it looks like as if it's in the model, like not just on top of it. You want to make sure it's actually like it's been like properly added, you know. So, and we're also going to be adding in another cylinder, you know, add in some cool stuff here. Sheet smooth. So this is the thing that drops the missile, you know. Adding like a nice kind of hinge. You know, try to integrate as much mechanical stuff as possible, you know. Yep, there we go. Doesn't have to be too good, but at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll add a plane. There we are. I mean, yeah, any questions about this, just let me know. You know what I mean? Let's just add that a bit higher. Maybe even get it to face down, RX 180. That looks a lot better now. Okay, so you could extrude it all the way, you could extrude it just a little bit, make it a little bit of a plate. But I think that making it a bit longer, does that make it look better? No, it does not. So I'm just going to scale it down a little bit, you know, bring that back. Something like that. I don't know, you can add detail to it however you like. Now this does not look integrated, so what am I going to do? I am going to be actually making it look as if it's like integrated into the model. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lenny, if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you if you're still watching. Yeah, it means a lot. Or whoever's watching, thank you. Let's add that on there. Could add that on there. Could add it as like a handle, maybe. Could be like one of those things that you can add as like a handle. Stream is very delayed, but it doesn't matter. That does not look like as if it would match onto the kind of thing right there. We want to add something that actually looks interesting, you know what I mean? You could even add this at the front of it if you wanted to. Yeah, let's go back to that and just, you know, duplicate it, add it in. Nope, that does not look good. So we've got to come up with a design for this. So how do we do that? We look up for reference for, let's look up for reference. So for example, I'm stuck on like detailing this thing. Just look for mechanical parts, images, sci-fi mechanical parts. Nope, okay. Kit bash mechanical parts. Here we go. You can see we've got loads of cool references here. We can always, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so, you know, you can, you know, add some cool stuff on here. Yeah, so, yeah, of course, I am internally reassuring myself because I feel demotivated. Even I feel demotivated about this, but I'm still going because I know it will look great. Yeah, I'm still going. Bevel that. Now it looks like a happy face. Okay, no thank you. Let's just go back to the reference, shall we? Let me think, what else can I do? I want to make this like Ian Hubert style, you know? Something like crazy, some crazy shit like Ian Hubert. See, what can I do? Okay, I'm just gonna see what I can add. Anything that could be like, that can hold something, like a flap or anything really. I like to add that, so I will borrow that. I will borrow that. I will also borrow that. Or take it. Let's see, what else can I add on here that I would think that would look good. Let's see. I like to add that on there, and this. So it's like, for an example, wherever they're like these parts here. Sorry about that. Let me just scale that down. Scale that down. You know, just add that in. SY -1. It's backwards. That's why. Add that in. Does that even look good? I do not know. Does that even look good? You could sort of, you know, inset that and extrude it down, and then just, you know, it depends on how you want to do it. Set origin to geometry, you know, bring that down, scale it. Does that look good now? I am still unsure. But the thing is that you don't want to, at the moment, that has more contrast to the simple stuff now. So you got the rest that is simple, and you got like really complex stuff. So what you need to do is you need to go to the base mesh and actually, you know, change the base mesh to make it look more detailed to match the kit bash parts. Otherwise it looks very irregular. This does not look very good because, of course, the kit bash parts are like sort of in contrast. They're like sort of overlaying on top of it, which is not a good thing that you should, you know. Yeah, so we're gonna try out this. So we're gonna insert, extrude, Control B. You know, you sort of develop a visual library inside of your head as well. Scale it down, extrude it, insert. So then you get to like come up with ideas like this, for example, like this kind of thing. You know, randomize it and make it look cool. Delete that. Alt D. You know, so that looks cool. Now we need to detail this thing, and I'm thinking, you know what we could do? We could be beveling that and adding that good old kind of technique of just pushing that forward. That looks a bit better now, doesn't it? See, that adds detail to it. Grab these, bring them forward. Now that those stick out. So now that looks a lot more detailed, but these, they don't complete it. So what I was thinking of doing, this cube, it should be a lot more kind of, there should be something a bit more interesting going on up here. So if you think about it, instead of just adding random stuff, think about how the structure of this thing would work. So it basically holds a missile. 180, no, sorry about that. SZ -1. So just think about like how this whole thing works, you know. So firstly, missile will be going up into there. So this thing will be holding a missile. Let me just see. Does these? I think these should just go up into the top there. That should be going up, I think. Because if you think about it, if this thing is holding a missile, it depends on how big the missile is. Like it could be like a really big missile. You know what I mean? And this thing, you can see the proportions of this are a bit off. And if you look at the reference here, you can see the missile is quite big compared to this thing, and there's quite a few of them. You can see? And I don't want to keep it too uniform. Like I don't want to keep the whole thing. I want to make sure there's different like parts of it that are actually like, you know, that are like a missile. So we can literally grab this, and we need to think about how on earth can we match these up. And I'm like, you know, I've actually created an asset like this, and that is basically, where is it? There it is. It should be something like that. Yeah, something like that. I think it is. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So if you think about it, you know, when you're creating your designs. Yeah, so when you're creating your designs, you wanna. Why is that stretched? Oh, that isn't. Okay. 90 RZ 90. There we are. Okay, so imagine like something like that, for an example, like sticking out from there. Okay, now there's another problem. Okay, let's fix this, shall we? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make sure this is nice and stretched out. Let's just bring that out. Make sure it's actually sticking out. You know, it really does sort of, you know, destruct the kind of silhouette of the whole thing. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, that's it. And then like grab these, bevel them, Of course this part lacks detail, so what are we going to do? We are going to reduce this, you know, give it that nice kind of little shape there. Okay, now I just want to add like a bunch of this stuff like on the side. RY90. Let's see, does that even go well? No, it does not. So I'm just going to add that there, maybe even scale it up a little bit. Add that about there, I think. Yeah, I presume. I'm not sure really. Let's see what I can do. Bring that forward. And again, it takes a lot of trial and error to do this kind of stuff, because, you know, you really need to think about the design and stuff. Yeah, so so basically I'm just gonna carry on with you know, adding more stuff to it. You could even add in like a yeah, okay, bye. Okay, then I'm gonna add in like a cube, add in a cube, and, you know, scale this down, maybe even scale this up, add in these panels on top. You know, you can always add like random kind of panel designs on the top of things. Try not to get too overexcited with this kind of stuff as well, but yeah, we're gonna see what we can do with this. Alt E, extrude faces along normals. Could even bring that down a little bit more. Let's see what we can do. We can extrude this, you know, extrude it again, bring it down, extrude it again, extrude it again, and then grab that part, and then grab that part, F3, bridge edge loops, and that just sort of, you know, matches it all up. And then what you can do is, you can basically, you know, add that, make that look go back, and you got like a nice little cool complex part there. You could even do the same with this thing here. I like doing this technique where in sci-fi designs you can literally just sort of, you know, make some cool stuff. And of course we want to keep the nice bevel technique that we've got here, so Control B, bevel, and yeah, that's basically that. And you could even like copy this and duplicate it like to another part of the, you know, another part of it. You could even rotate it 180 degrees. So what we can do is bring that down. We could even bring that across. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, add it wherever you like, to be honest. You could even add it like down there if you want. I said 180. No. Okay, let's see what we can do. See if we can add that like somewhere. Nah, let's just delete that. We can always make something else. You know, add more detail to this thing. You know, like for an example, like if you want to detail this thing, you can always just add in like cool kind of like edge loops here. Okay, you know, like a bit like a lightsaber, you know what I mean? Extrude faces. No, let's do that inwards. Extrude faces along normals. Yeah, I mean, if you're watching if whoever's watching, yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, thanks for joining the stream. So F3 bridge edge loops. you know, add in like these cool like kind of designs. Could even make it like a mini one, like right in the middle of this thing here. Set origin to geometry, you know. I use the 3D cursor quite a lot, to be honest. You can see what we're getting here now. And you know, it's good to be messy with like kitbash assets sometimes, you know, like just scatter them around and experiment with where you can put them, you know what I mean? Experiment with where you can put them. Like for example, I'm like, you know what, this actually looks good, like right here. So I'm like, you know, I'll add that like there. Ooh, yeah, I like that. You know, add it on the other side. You know, you could add a mirror modifier. But I'm just messing around. You know, just eyeball it. That seems cool. You know. Of course, now this thing here, this looks a bit too simple, in my opinion. What is that? Okay, let's bring that back down to 0. SX 0. Yeah, let's bring these back here. SX, you know, keep these relatively okay. Let's see what we can do here as well. Let's just bring those out. See what we can do. Let's see. What we could do is there we are. Okay, yeah. Add in some cool stuff. Yeah, something like that. That looks cool. And let's also, can we add in a mirror modifier on this thing? Yeah, let's add a mirror modifier. You know, delete vertices. And set origin to 3D cursor. And then also, for people who have just joined, we're making a nice cool missile kind of thing for my short animation. Yeah, so we're just gonna add a mirror modifier. There we are. Okay, mirror modifiers. I think they're very cool. We're gonna scale this up, make it look nice and cool. Maybe even add this on the edge there. You could add it like that. You know, make it look nice and long, and there we are. I mean, hopefully I'll be making tutorials as well in the future, like actual like YouTube like tutorials, like I don't know how Blender Guru does it or whatever, to be honest. Yeah, if you have any like kind of tutorial suggestions, you can just let me know, and then I'll just keep it in mind, and then you know, I'll just try my best. Bring that down, maybe a bit more down, but not too much down, because we want to keep these a bit more separated apart. That looks a bit better. See the detail that we're getting into now. It's looking okay. Don't want to spend too much time on small details. Like you just want to focus on the whole thing. Like for example, like this bit here, and I'm like, you know what? Let's make a nice kind of little other flap area that actually grabs onto it a bit more. You could even bring the whole thing down if you like. Let's see what I can do with this thing, because this cube is a little bit too simple, to be honest. It's a little bit too simple. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's see. You could even extrude that up as if it's like some kind of, you know, let's extrude these out. You know, extrude them out again. Extrude these. Extrude that forward. Extrude it again. You know, have a lot of fun with this, you know what I mean? You know, just really, you know, go crazy with this. Don't be afraid to, you know, make those simple kind of, simple stuff. Anyways, let's just bevel that. I'm gonna move these up. Whoops. Move with these. Does that look good? I don't know. Does that look good? You know, just go crazy with it. I don't know. I like them like this, but then I'm thinking, what should I add on the front there? Because I don't want it to look too kind of flat on the front. Yeah, I could just add in like another support. Could add another support, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, I could even use like one of these. Let's see. I'm just gonna use one of these. Like this could be used as like some kind of next level hinge thing. I don't know. Minus 90. Scale it down. Probably leave that out for now, but I'll create some other stuff. Let's see, what else can I add? Yeah, let's see what we can do with this one. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Remember, take your time with this. Take your goddamn time, because you don't want it to be too rushed, you know? Now I'm just thinking, how can I add this in? I do not know. Well, I guess I will add that like that. Oh yes, I've got an idea. There we are. There we are. You can always find like a way to, add some cool stuff. Like that there. That looks nice. Maybe even duplicate it, scale it up. Make it bigger. Add that there. From like this point of view, it looks really cool. And then like if we add in something like a, I don't know, you could even add in like a cylinder there. Make sure it's mirrored. There we go, bring it straight to the front. Maybe even bring it down a little bit. SGY, okay, that's a bit odd. Control A, apply scale, I, E, and there we go. You could just do something simple like that, and now you've got these nice rods going across. Maybe even move this back a little bit more and add in like another one like right across here. This one could be like a heavy duty version of it, like that is a bit more higher. I think I'm having a bit too much fun here. Although it isn't much at the moment, but yeah. This one could be the heavy duty SY, SX. Extrude it up. I want to make sure all of these are the same level, sort of. SZ0. There we are. That means that we've got to move all of these. down, you know, just to show that nice kind of definition. And now what I do notice is that the back of it is bland as well. I want to give it a bit of depth, you know, a bit of some solid kind of the solidness, because at the moment it looks very kind of flimsy. It doesn't look very solid, if you know what I mean. But they are supposed to be sort of just flimsy, you know what I mean. I'm trying to give it like a nice sci-fi kind of look. You know, ESXGZ. Sorry, I was just these are kind of bothering me a little bit. It shows it's a bit too much, you know, as I was saying, a bit too much contrast from the rest of it, if you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna duplicate this, add it in a bit more further down the line, you know, giving it that depth and stuff. But this here, these really do kind of, you know, they kind of do bother me a little bit. So I want to make sure that this is extruded up. I want to make sure it actually it's like a solid kind of mesh, like a solid landing gear. Of course I want it to be a bit flimsy, you know. That could go all the way down to the back there. Do the same with this one here, you know, bevel it, extrude it. So without the thing, it's looking okay. It's looking okay. It's looking pretty good. You know, add that on the other side, you know, even add one in the middle, you know, so that will be rotating along these, set origin to 3D cursor, so you're probably getting my drift here. So this will be merged with that, and this will basically be the kind of thing that flaps open and stuff, something like that, I guess. So yeah, okay then, yeah, I guess I have to go now, and I mean, I hope you learned something from this, and yeah, thanks to the people who have joined, and yeah, so yeah, I'll basically be getting off now, so I will see you in the next video, I guess, next live stream, hopefully. But yeah, don't forget to follow my Instagram and check out my Patreon, and also subscribe. So yeah, thanks. Yeah, see you guys.